Before I do a video, I always like to do like a personal inspection of something. It's got a lot of sticky stuff on it and a lot of weird things that just don't really sit right with me, to be honest. I mean, look at this sticky shit on the front. All that really matters, I suppose, is that it is brand new on the inside. So the box ain't looking too good. On the inside, you've got pretty much everything you need. And that feels very heavy duty. That looks too small and I'm a little bit concerned. Let's just hope that's not the case though. In here is your XLR cable, which is absolutely huge. It's really heavy as well. And you've got the I Heart Røde sticker. Yeah, that's a very heavy duty USB-C and XLR cable there. There is what looks to be a blue ring XLR. Why has it got bits all over it as if it's been used? And then on the inside is the microphone itself, which is the silver one, made in Australia. The real question is whether this actually fits on my boom arm, which I'm honestly thinking it doesn't. Oh, I see. That's very cool. Keeps your XLR port protected, basically. So I'm going to go and set this up now. While we have very little room to move around, I thought I would do a review on the Røde NT1 5th generation, kind of just giving you an audio sample of how it sounds in the Vocaster One. I won't be using this mic in the USB mode. If you guys really want to see a follow-up video, you can. Most people already kind of have an idea of what this would sound like with a USB, and that's why I don't really care too much about going into this microphone, because majority of you that are coming to this video have probably already seen multiple other videos. You've probably already seen the specs and everything else. So really what I'm doing is, I think the main thing a lot of you are wondering is whether this microphone is good enough for voice acting. And to be honest with you, that's a pretty obvious given one. Of course it is. And the Vocaster One is also a very good choice for a lot of you guys that are going for this microphone. I've just noticed something as well. We're not running directly from the mic. This is now running directly from the microphone without any use of NVIDIA broadcast. This is now the full 32-bit, 48,000 kilohertz, whatever it is. I'll show everything on screen after. We don't need to go into all the details, but this is now the mic playing through the microphone and not for NVIDIA broadcast with filters on it and stuff. This microphone isn't going to sound incredible through recording on an application like Streamlabs. It's not going to sound incredible through probably many other things I've unoptimized or don't optimize for, because ultimately this microphone is for voice acting, so my most optimizations are going to be in Adobe Audition. Hopefully I'm wrong though, and I have optimized it alright for Streamlabs and it still sounds good. But if you've got a low to medium voice, which is where I think mine is, you're going to be sounding pretty good through the mic, and that's important if you're doing voice acting. These days I'm trying to go for what feels like, it feels like I'm trying to go for as many auditions and as many projects as possible, and some of those aren't paid particularly well, some of them are, but that's the whole point of building myself up. Oh, it's easy as a voice actor, just do this, just do that. And I totally understand for the most part where people are coming from, but if you live in America, you've got an advantage for the most part, because living internationally means you're going to have to record from home. There's a lot of studios that are likely to take you on if you put yourself out there. So yeah, you know what, let's just go straight into it. So if we go over to the game here. Hello everybody, here I am. So this was what I was talking about earlier in video broadcast. This will tone your audio down quite a lot, but it does give you a lot of noise rejection and other things. So the Vocaster hub, this is very important because right now we've got it on enhanced clean, and we've got it on a tiny bit of compression, and we've actually changed it. So we've basically done it on our own. Rumble reduction is going to take quite a bit of low out of your voice. I don't recommend it personally, and I also think you should be careful with the compression itself. Also, I don't know why I've done this specifically for the equalizer. I just think it sounds okay. You take the equalizer off, this is now what I sound like just without an equalizer. Again, it's nothing big. I haven't tried to do anything crazy with it. You've got different presets that you can use, and they all sound different and good in their own way. I've tended to find that you need to be somewhere between -13 to -15 decibels while you're, because obviously one of the main things is if you're using a microphone, obviously if you've got the 32-bit float through the USB, you don't need to worry about this. But if you are using this mic as an XLR, you need to be very aware that your mic, once it starts clipping, is basically unsalvageable in a recording, and I figured out that somewhere around here is probably my best bet. So when I laugh, I'm not clipping. When I'm shouting, I'm not clipping, because obviously a lot of these things are done for voice acting, so I need to bear that in mind while I'm doing these videos. Also, one thing I will say is this microphone sounds best from about this distance. Use the distance between the pop filter and the mic here, because it is going to sound best that way, because we've had to angle the mic in a weird way, so just so you can see it more than anything. I wouldn't actually have my mic like this while I was on stream because it's way too close to me. Auto gain is going to be very helpful. I think it does optimize very well, and it will put, I think auto gain puts me around here, somewhere around this area, which is fine for normal talking. But if I'm doing voice acting, it can clip, so I like to tone it down just a bit. Just so, like, when you see host, there's like rings. I like to put it just on the edge of that ring. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. You might need a good monitor to see the differences in greys. I put the leveler, and that is probably the best place to put it, because in post I can boost the audio and it won't be a problem. But if it's messed up while recording, you ain't going to be able to do much about it. So obviously 48 volts is needed, otherwise you can't power a condenser. And one of the best things about this microphone is obviously you have, but it's also a dedicated mute button on the Vocaster, and it's also got all of these special features on the Vocaster as well, and obviously mic monitoring, which you can disable completely if you don't want them. It's brilliant. I absolutely love it. But yeah, I think that's going to be all for today, really. I don't want to record a very long video. It just doesn't really seem like I need to. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll come back for more in the future, especially as we do more voice acting videos, helpful videos. And if you're wondering why the mic's angled not directly at me like this, is because when it's directly at me like this, it is now prone more so to plosives than it is when it's on its side, where you can kind of talk past it just a bit. So I do recommend that. Turn your mic to the side, but make sure you're still talking into it. You're gonna hear a lot of, yeah, it doesn't reject it very well, so do be careful. If you've got it on a boom arm, you might have a shock mount, which is going to help you, but it's not going to fix ultimately the sound problem. But yeah, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.